Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My mom passed away this week, and so I kind of wanted to distract myself with something a little silly. So just decided to have a little fun. So let's get to it. Oh man, I can't pass up a good Will It Run. Gotta get this. Oh yeah, let's check this beauty out. I could not pass it up. I was thinking about trying to get it started out in the field, but I did not have any tools with me. So I figure I'd bring it back to the shop and we can see what we can do with this classic. Don't know how long it's been off the road, but she's got some great lines, and best of all, one of my favorite things about a great little barn find like this is the price. So let's take a look. So it looks like what we have here is a Craftsman Platinum. It's got 6.75 foot-pounds of torque, 190 cc Briggs & Stratton engine. Guess we should do what most people do when they do the Will It Run revivals, is they take a look in the trunk. So I guess let's start with the trunk. Alright, so it comes with its own little extra trunk space. Looks like it's a little messy in the back. Nothing wrong with that though. And fingers caught. There we go. Nice little trim rear end there. So not really coilovers, but it's got its own adjustable shocks so that you can go down, put it on the ground, or lift it up in the air. So yeah, it looks like she's been off the road for 20, 30 days, maybe longer, who knows. Definitely has some debris on her. Not the prettiest vehicle in the world, and no fellas, I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to get into any body work on this. Might clean it up, but black, got a nice little bit of patina on here, and so yeah, not going to be doing any body work on this one. Let's just see if we can get it running. So let's check and see what kind of fluids we've got here. Looks like she does have some oil in her. Can't really smell, so I can't tell you if it's any good or not. Have no sense of smell or taste, so, but it looks like oil, so I think we're okay. Let's take a look down in here at the fuel. Pretty high level. She's actually right up there at the top. Again, can't smell it, so I can't tell you if it's old fuel or new fuel, but there definitely is some fuel in there. We maybe want to pour that out just in case it's been in there for a long, long time. Don't want to get that sucked up into our carb and mess things up. It's got a little transmission here. Belt looks to be in fairly good shape, although it's a little loose. Don't think that'll affect it too much. We'll have to see how it performs if we can get this thing running. Alright, got our spark plug in there. The spark plug wire was not on there at all. It was just sort of hanging there, so maybe that was our problem. But I don't want to try to turn this thing over until we've checked to make sure it's not seized, because you know, it's been a month maybe or more since this thing has driven, and so yeah, we don't want to mess things up. Let's check our throttle cable. That does engage, so it looks like we're good to go there. And then this is the driving gauge. So yeah, when it does engage, it's a little loose. It's not pulling that exactly tight, so maybe might need a new belt, who knows. So yeah, unfortunately, no keys for this one, but I think we can make do without it. Oh, and I can almost guarantee you we're not going to have any brakes on this here vehicle. Alright, so if there were any kind of bearings in there, I'd say they were worn out, but that's just plastic. So, alright, time to see if this bad boy is seized up or not. It's pretty tight. I might have to check it with the cable at the handle in. Alright, she does turn over. That engine is not seized. That's a good sign. So we know that that's not the problem. That's not why she's been parked all these many days. That's a good sign. Suppose we could jack it up and take a look underneath, see how things look down there. Alright, it does have a blade. Let's put her back down on the ground. Good news, she's got oil, she's got some gas in there, and that engine is not seized, so yay! I can tell you this, my other vehicle's not exactly happy that I'm working on this one and not doing any maintenance to her. Gotta be a little jealous. She's gonna come back and bite me for that one, I'm sure. Let's take a look under the hood. What we've got here. Alright, got our air filter off. It's seen better days, but I don't think that would have caused any problems. Might have to add that to the list of things we need to replace though. Yeah. Could stand a new air filter. Let's try to keep all our pieces, parts together here. Alright. Fuel line still got a little bit of squeezability to it. See if we can get this air filter housing off. Take a look at our carburetor. Alright, we've got our air filter housing off. And there's our carburetor. Fuel gets fed in, air gets into here, and so it's got a carburetor. Does not appear to be leaking, so I think we might be okay there. Alright, I guess what we should do, knowing that we've got oil, we've got fuel, air's not too blocked up, might want to check to see if we've got spark. But I have a feeling that spark plug looks fairly new. Well, at least it doesn't look terribly bad. But you know what? I think I am going to take that one out and see what that looks like. Well, that's interesting. Spark plug wire was loose, and this wasn't even hand tight in here. Ooh, that is black as night. So we might have to add that to our list of things we need to get. I'm going to see if I can clean this up. Looks pretty black, so hopefully I can clean this up and still get it to work for us, just so we can test it to see what's going on. Alright, so I got it cleaned up a little bit. It was pretty nasty. But until I get a chance to get to the car parts store, I think I might just see if I can get that to work for me. Check and make sure it's gapped correctly. Alright, let's get that tightened up and see what she does. Okay, let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. That might be a part of our problem. She starts up and then dies out. I think that might be it. I think we might have an issue with our carburetor. Let's dive into that and see what we can find out. So let's drop this carburetor bowl. See what we can find out. This might get a little messy. Yep, our fuel is just pouring out. And that's just going to keep coming. Alright, so I'm draining the gas out of there. Gas looks pretty clear. Doesn't look like it's been varnished, even though it's been sitting in this little tank for a good 27-30 days. So our float bowl seems to be working fine. Doesn't feel like there's any fluid in there, but once it's all the way up, fuel does shut off. This one wasn't too gummed up. I can actually see through it, but I'm going to see if I can squirt it a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is take this carb off. I've already taken off of the choke assembly, and hopefully I can get this off as well. And see if I can't clean out the jet that's in this carb. Okay, so I was considering rebuilding this carb, picking up maybe a rebuild kit, see if I could get this thing taken care of. The problem is there's no real way to get down into change the jet out of this. You can't unscrew anything. There's nothing. Usually you can unscrew the jet and take it out, clean it up, put it back in, get the rebuild kit. But so I started looking online for this particular model and found a kit that actually has a brand new carb, but that's not all. Also comes with filters, fuel line, clamps, and an air filter. Now it's not a Edelbrock or it's not a Holley. It's a probably a cheap Chinese model, but came with all of these things for 20 bucks. You can't beat 20 bucks. All of these things on Amazon for like 19 something or other. I'll put a link down in the description, but hopefully this works. Seems like it's a pretty good match. And hopefully we can get this thing started up for the first time in a long time. Let's go see if this thing will run. Let's see if we can get this back together. I'm going to go with that original gasket that's still in there. Still seems pretty pliable. I think I can live with that. This one did come with fuel hose, but because this one wasn't leaking, I think I'm going to go with the better quality hose that was already on there. Kit also came with a spark plug, forgot to mention that, but really, the Pro Chaser? Like I said, I cleaned that one up a little bit. I think I'm gonna stick with what I've got, even though it was a little dark. Trying to keep this low budget, but I also want to go with what's working. And right now, that carburetor is my biggest issue. So Let's get her back on and see what she does. Got that back up. Yeah, looks like it's got all the pieces I need. I think this is gonna work. Alright, just gotta snug that down. It wasn't on there very tight. I think we're good. Alright. Let's get this clamp back on. Easier said than done. Be nice if this thing had some brakes. And I could put it in park and keep it from rolling on me. Now I just need to tighten this one down. Okay, so we got our new carb on. Choke seems to still be moving fine. Return spring is bringing it back. She's opening wide up. Throttle response is there. All right, I think we are good to go. Just need to get the air filter back on. Yeah. I gotta clean this up. That is nasty. Man, I'd really like to go with a nice set of headers, but I think I'm going to stick with that stock exhaust. It's got a good note. It's not rusted out. It's still looking pretty good. So yeah, no headers this time. Besides, getting headers to fit in here would probably not be easy. Cleaned it up a little bit. Got our gasket on here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that on. And put the sucker back together and see what we got. Alright, let's get our new little air filter up in here and put on our cover. Got our air filter all set up. Think we're good to go there. Now I think all I need to do is, I think this goes on after, right in here, and then put up on the top piece. And then give her some fuel, and we're ready to see if she will start. That's on nice and tight. Oh, here it is. All right, our hood is reattached. The spark plug tight on there. Yes. too shabby at all. Yeah, for something that's been sitting so long, for it to just start right up and hit the ground running, that's just awesome. Yeah, let's get her cleaned up. What do we think, guys? She cleaned up pretty nice. I like it. Got all those years and years of grime and crud off of there. She's looking pretty good. She's running pretty good. And there you have it. Runs good, looks good. Now I just need to figure out what I want to do with it. Do I sell this classic, or do I hang on to it and make my other wonderful mower back there jealous? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But seriously, thanks very much for tuning in. It's been a tough week for me, and like I said, just wanted to do something a little fun. Probably not that funny, but for me, it was at least a really good distraction. So, like, comment, subscribe if you can. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.